Hey there guys, Artistic Nick here, thanks for the click. I'm super excited about today's video because I'm drawing one of my favourite Marvel characters. I'm going to give you my 3 top tips for drawing realism with Copic markers. So let's get straight to it. As always, I start off by freehanding a pencil drawing in of the character or the face that I want to draw. I use a very light coloured pencil, so I use Caran D'ache pencils for my drawings, and I always use a 2 or a 4H pencil to start with. By going very light to begin with, it allows me to make corrections as I go along, and that means that I'm able to change things without damaging the tooth of the paper. I use Copic markers for the rest of the drawing, and the colours that I use for this drawing were cool grey 1, 3, 5 and 7. I used the black, and I also used the gold and yellow in the areas that you can see around the eyes. My first tip for using Copic markers to try and draw realism would be make sure that you've got 3 slightly different shades of the same colour if you want to be trying to add depth and dimension. So in this case, Black Panther obviously is black, but to get that dimensional look, rather than just colouring the whole thing in black, I used the blacks as well as a mixture of greys. So in the darker areas, I used the black, and then I blended out with the cool grey 7 into the 5, and in some cases on this drawing, I went into a 3 or a 1. Your eye looks at things, and your brain interprets depth and dimension by the darkness of things. So if you look at anything around the room now, let's say your table or a bed or something like that, the darker areas will be the furthest away. The recesses of something will be slightly darker, and our brain interprets this as being further away from the light, and therefore we perceive depth and dimension. So tip number 1, use a gradation of colours, slightly different tones. So if you were using reds in a lot of the drawings that I've done Spider-Man and whatnot, I use 3 different colour reds, or in some cases just 2, a cadmium red and a cardinal red. Tip number 2, to get some very smooth gradations with your Copic markers, I would advise using a coloured pencil. So in this case, I'm using a black coloured pencil, and I'm just going over the darker areas and gradually bringing out the value or the shade to make sure, again, that I'm getting a smooth transition from dark to light. This again makes sure I believe that we're seeing something more realistic. Tip number 3, my final tip for using Copic markers for a drawing like this would be use a white highlighter pen towards the end of your drawing, just to bring out some of the lightest areas of your drawing. This is especially good for things like the whites of the eyes, reflections, trying to make a surface look wet and shiny. So they're my 3 tips. I'm really thankful that you guys have checked out my video and you've looked at my channel. I hope you'd consider subscribing to my channel and turn the notifications icon on. I'm currently doing daily videos, and I'm also doing request videos. If you guys have got any requests for me, then send them down below in the comments. You can also get me on my social media platforms. All of my social media links are in the descriptions below. And I just want to ask you the question, who's your favourite Marvel character and your favourite Marvel movie? So I'd love to know from you guys what you're watching, what you're thinking about watching, who your favourite character is. So leave that down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Hit subscribe, smack the notifications button, follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.